The second, this is where my geekiness comes out, is that the criteria be supported by what we know empirically, so that we really are looking to try to make something consistent with the data. As Ted's saying, a lot of decisions around DSM have been made for political reasons and sort of small rooms, dark rooms, and decisions made that way. And I think, for example, there's a big debate in psychopathology in general. Maybe we should be mentioning things dimensionally rather than just either or. Does someone have or not? I think that would be a really nice way of doing that. I think the third, and this is hard for me, but understanding that these are always working diagnoses. We're always going to be learning more as scientists and as clinicians and as sufferers, and that we need to educate people about the fact that so these are working criteria. We're doing the best we can with this, but that it's always a work in progress. Ted's point as well, that we modify the criteria to better reflect developmental issues on each developmental end. I think that it's gender and age bias in respects that aren't helpful. And finally, that the wording be more respectful to those struggling with symptoms. For example, the word refusal in the anorexia criteria just at core is not a respectful word. So I think the wording needs to be done respectful as well. Can I make my 2-minute time?
Oh, yeah.
Right, Wendy.
All right, I'll be brief, and everything you said was really helpful. And I just kind of boil it down to just a few things that I would like to see changed. First is the word refusal in anorexia nervosa. It's so not reflective of the person's experience, and it's punitive and judgmental and inaccurate, and it's a very big problem. So thank you for pointing that out. That's probably my biggest pet peeve, although in doing insurance reviews, it's not the thing that necessarily gets in the way the most. The thing that gets in the way more often in terms of helping somebody, which is really where I'm coming from with it, is obviously the weight criteria with anorexia nervosa, and as Ted was talking about, some of the frequency criteria with bulimia. But lastly, and I guess this is also equally a pet peeve of mine, and this is, I just did a doc-to-doc review this morning before I came here on a patient with binge eating disorder, and I very much believe in treating anorexia nervosa, bulimia, and binge eating disorder in the same setting, because people really, can see themselves in one another and be able to develop sympathies for one another. And the binge eating disorder person can see the anorexic inside of them, and the anorexic person can see the binger inside of them that they're trying to grapple with. But in the doc-to-doc review, I mean, it was just, there is such an anti-fat mentality in our society. And what I said to my co-founder of Oliver Pyatt before I left, I said, the same insurance company would pay for this patient to get a gastric bypass surgery. However, they will not pay for definitive treatment. And some way of recognizing, I think, with binge eating disorder also, that it often reflects a serious co-occurring other psychiatric diagnosis that somehow, in reflecting that, could help. Because I'm about being able to get the person the treatment, so being able to be sure that we can actually deliver the care we need, because without the acute, blood pressure instability or electrolyte problems, it can become very hard to make the arguments that need to be made. So I guess overall, for me, it's about the criteria matching the patient experience, and really the bottom line of being able to help people and not have the criteria interfere with that by, binge eating disorder not really being reflected as a serious psychiatric problem.
Kathleen.
Moving right along. Yeah, I mean, we all have seen specific examples of people who have been turned away from treatment because they don't weigh little enough, or they don't bench or approach enough. They haven't been to the ER enough times. So taking the number of classifications out of the DSM-4. This is not me speaking as the policy assistant, by the way. This is just me as a person. And then also taking off the parentheses that we parenthesize binge eating disorder and eating disorder not otherwise specified. It's not right. It deserves its own classification. But I have hope. Now I'm speaking as a policy assistant because of the FREED Act. I really do have hope, because one of the things that we address in there is that as the guidelines reemerge and redefine, and we sitting there and helping these people make their choices, But then the FREEDACT will adapt as seen fit as the DSM 5, 6, 7 progresses. And we also have really wonderful relationships with the APA, who are highly skilled in the relationships that are going on in the dark rooms of getting the right wording in. So we're using the connections that we have to talk about what is the right language to include in the next version of the DSM 5. So please hold out hope that we are working with all of the experts in the field and getting their input, and we're taking that to the table. And it's just been a real blessing, if I may, to see them hear us and take this feedback back to the Hill and your voice. So thanks very much.
I kind of wish I had gone first because I have the least expertise in this area. I'm going to focus on the criteria for anorexia because that's what as a question, that's what I know about. And the problem with first off, I'm going to start so I don't forget by saying that the Drug Partnership has been working on a letter writing campaign to the APA addressing the criteria for anorexia, and there's information on the table if you're interested. So the problem with the DSM-4 criteria is that there's a huge number of patients who fail to meet the physical criteria of weight and amenorrhea addressed, and they have been negatively impacted by that. I never met the weight requirements, although I did have extremely low body fat in the last time period, because I still had a lot of heavy muscle mass. And on the flip side, there's a lot of people who never lose their period despite being extremely low weight. And I've heard that the weight criteria is only a guideline, but I've never seen it treated that way by any provider. It's always been presented to me as a requirement, even by people who kind of wanted to diagnose me anorexic. And so I was denied inpatient status at one place because I wasn't sick enough and I didn't have the low BMI. I wasn't sick enough is separate. I wasn't about to die. I could have gotten in with a low BMI, but I didn't have that. So, but I did actually need to be in an inpatient or residential setting because I had really bad post-traumatic stress, and that's a whole other story. But, and I did get in somewhere else. So the physical criteria are unreliable and unhelpful, and I think unnecessary. What they seem to be getting at is the self-starvation that is characteristic of anorexia, and I think that's what separates it from other disorders based on all my interactions with different diagnosed people. And so it's that need to keep starving oneself by various methods, including exercise and purging as well as restriction. So my dream criteria would replace the physical standards with behavioral criteria of prolonged self-imposed starvation causing severe disruption in physical, mental, and or social functions. And I think individual providers are more capable of assessing what constitutes severe physical stress in each case than an arbitrary number like 85%. And if you need to have like a minimum time period requirement, I would think no more than a month or two, because that's plenty of time to be starving. It's very, the way it is now, you have to first starve to the point of losing your period and then wait 2 more months to get in the 3 months of amenorrhea.
Well, she's not too much.
There's not really much else I can say here. Obviously, the eating disorder is a big topic in this. Ida did meet with the working group and discussed with them our concerns and advocated on behalf of our community. Again, it goes back to this really being between the spectrum, and that putting people into boxes is just really not helpful. You're always going to leave someone out. So I actually kind of like the idea of one, but I know that's not what we're going to get. I think obviously it's a work in progress, and we're working toward a better situation than